This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Racial consultants are standing by. We'll take caller 9-844-999-OLA for Profile This in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, a quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a new survey asked women if there's anything that gives them more pleasure than sex. The majority of them said yes to two things.
Two things.
Two things. Any idea what those two things might be?
Hanging out with friends, going out to dinner, brunch.
Chocolate.
Brunch. I'll say brunch.
Brunch. Thrill, any guesses?
Anything other than having sex with me.
Shopping and traveling.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Sounds like a dating profile. I like travel and shopping.
Yeah.
I like sex.
A new study ranked the biggest cities in the country from the most stressed to the least based on factors like unemployment, divorce rates, and mental health.
Huh.
And it's pretty much exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
The most stressed cities are Detroit, Newark, least are Fremont, California, and Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh, because there's a lot of employment there.
That's right.
Yeah, the broken down cities.
What do you know?
People a little stressed out.
Stressed out.
Imagine
Stressed.
Would have
Right.
thought. A man in Virginia called the police on Monday after he got fouled in a pickup basketball game. The cops came, but the guy wound up deciding not to press assault charges.
I mean, come on, man. Is there video of it? I keep reading the story, but I haven't seen
I checked the story to make sure it was the gangly one.
And it wasn't like the guy threw a punch at him or anything. He ran through a screen hard.
That was it.
Yes.
And
Now,
he called the cops.
yes, and was like, I was assaulted. But I'm pretty sure the cop even was like, what are you doing?
Where was this? Do we know what city it was
Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia? Come on. Yeah.
I
think we're both picturing the same general group of people playing basketball there.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Because
Like you're calling
one
the
of them
cops.
would be willing to call the cops. The other would be like, I've never called the cops in my life.
Yeah.
A woman
two
in-
arm sleeves.
A woman in San Diego saw a man accidentally drop his pet chihuahua on Monday morning, and that made her so angry that she stabbed the man in the thigh.
Damn.
He accidentally dropped his dog.
You think she's black, white, makes you Asian. So I'm about to ask you that.
I don't know.
I was wondering if you had this one.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I read the story. We'll share the whole bit in a minute, but it's like, come on, man.
Well, I'll let you handle that one then. I'm not working on it. The CEO of a moving company heard about a new hire in Alabama who was willing to walk 20 miles to make it to his first day of work on time last Friday. So the CEO drove from Tennessee to Alabama on Monday and gave him his car.
Damn.
The other guy that's worked there for 5 years and takes the bus was pissed.
That's right.
Should have just walked.
Right? Your first day and they gave you a car?
You know what they did, though? The guy quit after the first
The
day.
guy realized that...
Sold the car.
The guy realized that...
Bought drugs and the rest went downhill.
Here's a positive spin for you. Okay, so the guy, I don't know if his car broke down or whatever, but it was one of the first days he had on the job. He knew how far he had to go, so he started walking at night. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. He got... the cops stopped him and pulled him over when he was walking on the side of the road to ask him why he was walking on the side of the road. And then they gave him a ride.
So the cops gave him a ride to...
And then he told a story. Mm-hmm. But, he was walking on the side of the road. I picked him up.
This one asks, have you ever stood someone up on a date?
I don't think so.
No? Ted?
No. If I want to go on a date with someone, I said yes. I probably want to go on a date with him.
I've been on some bad ones.
Oh, yeah. You wish you'd stood him up. But.
Yeah.
According to a new survey, 69% of people say they have never done it.
It's also much tougher in this day and age. Like back in the day, if you stood somebody up, like, just stay away from the phone a couple days. But, like, they can get a hold of you.
14% of people have done it once, and 7% have done it several times. Ted, I would fight that by saying that people are ghosted all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, Mike, you can bring up a good point.
It happened so much they gave it a name.
You know, at
Hey,
least...
what are you working on that one, huh, fella?
Maybe. Some people get ghosted, Ted. It leaves a bit of a mark. Amazon just got a patent for a robot that throws things into boxes, and in their examples, they show the robot, I'm not kidding, throwing a dwarf.
Oh, damn, man.
Why?
They swear it's a dwarf figurine, but the Little People of America organization thinks they're advocating dwarf tossing, which, quote, is a real concern for us.
So you mean an actual, just like a gnome?
Well, it says a dwarf figurine, so I don't know if it's a...
You just made
I think
it
there's
worse,
a difference
man.
between gnomes and dwarves, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, he said a figurine of a dwarf, not a gnome.
Why else would you have a figurine?
But the living gnome people are upset about this. Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, why aren't they upset that there's figurines of them? Period.
I'm so sick of it.
Maybe it's the seven dwarfs, Ted. You don't know.
Travelocity my ass.
It's not a
I mean,
gnome, that's a
I guess
dwarf.
I'd be scared too. It's like the robots are attacking us.
That's right.
Why would that be the demo you showed?
I don't know. Should it just be like
probably
anything
just
like
A
in the
package.
demo.
Anything.
They want to show how much it can lift. Half of Americans say they haven't traveled outside of the country since they got a pet, according to a new study. And 87% worry about how their pets are doing when they're away from them on vacation.
It's your pet.
Right.
what percentage was that?
87.
So 13% are like, don't care. Jesus Christ, man.
Cat might be dead. I don't know.
Trying to enjoy my vacation. To hell with that cat.
That's right. Here, I bet you that percentage is fairly the same for people that leave their kids behind if they travel out of the country.
Sure. Yeah, a little bit.
Right? There are twin sisters in Michigan who are both running for county commissioner seats. Not the same seat, but one's a Democrat and the other's a Republican, and they're not endorsing each other.
Well, of course
They're
not.
running against each other.
I hope they both win.
It's like,
they're not
Venus
running
and
for the same
Serena
seat.
playing in the Wimbledon final. I
Right.
mean, it's not that they don't love each other, but they're going to kick each other's ass.
Yeah, but they're not going for the same seat.
Yeah, they're going for the championship.
Well, they're both right. They're
Oh,
both
they're going
running
for
for a
different
seat
seats.
that's
Oh, I see.
unopposed, right?
Right. Well, I don't know if it's unopposed. I'm not working on it, but this just basically what this says is they're not going for the same seat. One's a Democrat, the other's a Republican. So they're going for seats, but not the same one
But
seat.
look, man, I mean, I think if we discovered anything in the last few years, if you view yourself as a Republican or Democrat, then it's impossible to say anything nice about the other side.
Yeah,
right?
but I
Might
get
as
the
well-
feeling-
it's party first, and then you can pretend you care about other stuff. But it's party first, man. There's
But I-
no doubt.
But I get the feeling that twin sisters will be able to really get to the meat of the issues.
Oh, they'll handle it.
They'll be able to have those debates and still be able to sleep at night.
You know what? I
But
gotta be
it'll get
honest with you.
personal quick.
Yeah, I don't know if I want any siblings in the same state house,
No.
not on the same team, because that seems like that would just be an argument. Like, oh my
Constantly.
god, yeah.
Right?
There's no decorum here.
Let's see. A new study found arguing with your spouse a lot can affect your health, especially if you're a man.
I read that whole survey.
Sleeping on couches really helps hurts you.
Seems
Oh,
like-
there's a lot more to that study than that.
I'm
but
sure there is, man.
you're not working on it, so you'll
That's
never know.
correct.
But
Is
you
it
know what?
worse
You'll-
for guys
but
than the
here's
women?
but here's the thing: you'll learn it in life, so it won't matter.
Was it worse for the guys than the women?
It just says that it can affect your
Health-wise,
health
yeah.
more if you're a
kill
man.
you quicker, heart disease, all the stuff. Because the way guys, there's no closure. You know what I mean? Like you can't get closure on something. So basically, that was I'll tell you about it later. There's a bunch of different things.
We'll talk about
Trust
this later.
me, it's just like you give up because you just don't want to fight, right? You put your hands up in the air. It's like you don't want to fight the battle anymore, and it's just like, God damn it,
it's
stop.
not that important
Right,
to
it's
you.
just not. But it's just like this is an unnecessary.
Doesn't
stress.
mean it's not important. It's just never quite
too,
as important.
Too many unnecessary stresses that continually build all of it. I'll show you the survey. It makes complete. You go like, oh God, this makes sense.
Right. It does. You're like, yeah.
Holy Christ!
I can't even believe you did a study. You could
Right.
ask
No wonder
anyone.
Granddad's dead and Meemaw's living free.
A Walmart in Tennessee had to shut down for 6 hours after a raccoon wandered into the store.
He was nagged to death. Oh yeah, well of course. Can't
What
have
did
a
he
raccoon
buy?
in the store?
I have no idea.
Did they case him? Can we help him? Mascara?
They're like, what's a raccoon need at a
Mascara
Walmart?
and a good, like, lint comb.
Masks.
What if he was buying trash cans? He just likes hanging out in them.
Yeah, hey, just throw your trash in here, bro.
Correct.
First,
I'm already in here.
And you guys will never believe this, but a man in Wales was arrested for having sex with a horse, but he claims that the horse gave him consent.
Oh,
I heard about
I'll
this.
tell you all about it and test your memory 1 hour from now.
All right, thank you, Mike Hawk. Appreciate it. My headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is.
The Men's Room presents Profile
Ask Steve
This.
Throw Hill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Kyle, do you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. I'm actually going to switch up stories on you. I was going to go with the woman who stabbed the guy in San Diego because she saw him drop his chihuahua. It should be noted, he dropped the dog by accident. She was in an apartment, actually ran outside, chased him across the street, and stabbed him. And she was wrong. But instead, we're going to go to the fine state of Tennessee, where police there arrested a man who stole his date's car and then used that car to pick up her godsister with whom he was going on another date. Just keep in mind, they don't realize that he has double booked the date for the evening, so he goes out on the first date. I can't say whether it went well or bad for him, but either way, at some point, he ditched her, stole her car. Then he goes to pick up the godsister, takes her out on a date. But he stopped at a local gas station when she went in to buy cigars, and that's when he sped off, leaving her stranded. She tried calling him, but he blocked the number. When she tried to reach out to him on social media, she discovered that he had blocked her there as well. She then contacted her family to let them know what happened. That's when she got a text message from her godsister who told her that he was on his way to pick her up to take her out on a date. Well, once they arrived at a local drive-in theater, the girl texted her godsister again and waited for police to show up. The guy was taken into custody, and police charged him with theft of property. Do you believe that this guy went on a date with a woman, and when she went in to buy cigars, stole her car, picked up her godsister for a date, is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
My initial thought was white. Then he started saying cigars and godparents or something like that, and now I'm thinking black.
Dude, she went into the store to buy cigars.
Correct.
Why did she buy cigars, Ted?
Probably to roll a blunt.
That's my assumption.
And then she's got
at a local convenience
and
store.
she's got a godsister.
Right.
She has a godsister.
Like, I'm a godfather. I don't have any
Sisters.
godsisters.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going black 100%.
Black, and I think the fact that the guy has the opportunity to have more than one date in one night, he's got game. So I would go black.
That's black. I'm going with black.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Kyle, we're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
That's exactly it.
Profiler takes us to Tennessee. Tennessee man steals a date's car so he can go on a date with that woman's godsister.
I don't think he knew that they knew each other.
All right, either way. Apparently they do. He blocks the date who he stole the car from on social media, obviously, because he's trying to steal the car and, take the godsister to the drive-in or some crap?
Yeah, so he takes the initial girl out on a date. That's the idea. And I don't know if they'd eaten or done their date yet, but at some point they stop at a convenience store to buy cigars. She gets out of the car. He steals it. And, of course, if you ever want to successfully steal a car, just block people's numbers. And so cops will never find you. Anyway, he goes and picks up his second date, which happens to be the godsister of the woman that he just duped. She calls the godsister. They arrange it. They go to a drive-in, and that is where the police show up to get the car back and arrest him. And, Kyle, we asked you, did you believe that this smooth operator is black, white, Mexi, or Asian? Didn't take you long to come up with black. You said, you know what, man, just everything considered, I think it's black. You are correct, sir.
They say, what kind of cigar?
They didn't, man.
Where was it at?
It was in Tennessee. I'm not sure of the city in Tennessee, but
Tennessee, though. That could be backwoods or whiteout country.
Well, see, that's exactly it.
What is it, black and mild, too? There's a couple more.
Black and mild, you just smoke.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you're not using those for blunts. Come on, man.
Now, for all
very
TV
hard.
news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Now, if somebody shows you a map and there's no names of any of the countries, do you feel confident you could name some countries on the map?
Absolutely.
I can name some countries on the map, sure.
All right. So it's safe to say you could name just a country.
What continent are we looking at?
No. It's the whole world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Sure. Australia, obviously, is an obvious choice, correct?
I thought the same thing. Seems like
Iceland
the
is pretty
easiest one.
easy. England is probably pretty easy. Ireland is probably pretty easy. Spain, France.
United States.
Italy's a boot, kicking a rock with Sicily, sure.
A lot of stuff.
Canada.
Jimmy Kimmel does some funny man on the street
Mexico.
stuff, and these people struggled.
Oh, boy.
Can you name any country on this map?
Honestly, my geography is so horrible. I can't name anything. Like
Try
nothing.
naming something.
Is it South Africa?
Nope.
We had the country of Asia.
Nope, that's
Jeez.
a continent, and
Oh,
that's
whoops.
Russia.
Oh, damn. I'm silly.
That's okay.
Man, it's been a while since I've been in school.
That's okay. Any country on the map.
Africa.
That's a continent.
Country. Damn it.
How about a country in Africa?
I know South Africa's over here somewhere.
No, it's south.
down here, yeah.
Yeah, it's south.
Oops.
Can you name any country on this map?
Yeah. Africa?
That's a continent.
Oh, God.
Can you name any countries in Africa?
God, no. Who knows stuff like that?
Can you name any country on this map?
Yes. Africa.
That's a continent.
God damn.
All right. Go to the Men's Room Facebook page. You can watch the whole bit there. It gets worse.
I bet
good.
Well, it already was pretty bad.
The first woman, and she's like, did you graduate high school? Like, yeah. Did you graduate college? Like, oh, yeah. I just don't know any of this geography.
Why does college cost so much?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, right. Well, you got a degree. You must be a smart person. The saving grace is there is a child in the end who just starts
thank God.
naming countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God for the children.
You would be surprised, though, when you, like even with helping your kids with homework and things like that they're pretty fresh into learning stuff. So when they're excited about learning stuff, they are very smart at it. And you realize, yes, I knew some of these principles at one point in time. I have lost a lot of these skills based on the fact that I'm not involved with them every day anymore. But there's some things that have stuck, like where you live on this planet.
Well, I think just
like these people couldn't even pick out the United States, Mexico, or Canada.
That's
so. What is
and
it that anyone's griping about? If you don't even know what you're talking about, then shut up. And then certainly, as far as geography goes, you would just think in this current day and age with the world being smaller, internet, all this stuff, and everyone's mad at everybody and accusing people, you would at least have a general idea of where you believe your enemy exists, right? And people piss and moan about it all. But you don't even know where this place is, including the country you live in. Yeah, I mean, that's the big one. It's like, look, if you're illiterate, at least be able to spell your own name, right? If nothing else, figure that one out.
Yeah, and then that one guy just, name a country in Africa. And there's got to be, 40 countries in Africa?
Something like that.
Probably.
And that's just insane.
Yeah. But I'm not terribly stunned. Actually, I am. I am terribly stunned by that.
Yeah. Remember, the one girl had a college degree.
Who knows stuff like that? I don't know. People that have ever looked at anything ever in their life.
Right. I told Mike, I go, look, if you didn't know the difference between, say, Niger and Nigeria,
fine.
I might cut you some slack. But you couldn't even say Chad.
Right.
Egypt,
Chad.
right?
Chad.
And then one guy points to the map, in
How
the
can they have a
north
country called Chad with no white people in it? Every white person I know is a Chad.
How can you not name a country in Africa when there's a country called South Africa?
Yeah.
I mean, they just give it to you right there, man. God damn.
Ivory Coast. This is big news. The CW recently said they're introducing Batwoman in a DC crossover event in December. They're going to separate and they're going to develop a separate show for Batwoman. Do you know why this is such a big deal?
I don't.
She's going to be a lesbian.
Okay. I don't remember Batwoman exactly. I remember Catwoman.
When did the sexual thing matter? I mean, look.
Well, the funny thing is, since 2006, when she was reintroduced, she's been a lesbian in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So there's no difference.
No.
Wow, so they're taking it to the movies.
So are we going to see sex scenes? Because if we're not, then I don't care.
Does Batwoman hook up? I don't know. Maybe she can get seduced by Catwoman now.
Hopefully, yeah, I was going to say this is where Catwoman should come in.
I always like Poison Ivy, too.
Yeah, but she's itchy.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't want to get close
And I
to
just,
her. It's like Kevlar.
I don't like eating vegetables, so it's like...
Poison Ivy just seems the most realistic.
Sure.
Sleep with her and it gets a little itchy.
Yeah.
Miles, look, I'm with you. I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but yeah, she's gonna be a lesbian. She'll be back. Do you know Batwoman's secret identity?
I didn't even know Batwoman existed. I don't remember Catwoman. I just don't remember Batwoman.
Well, because there was Batgirl, right?
Yeah, I remember Batgirl, but I don't remember Batwoman.
Yeah,
and I knew comics back then, and I swear to God, I'd never remember that character.
What's her alter ego?
Catherine Kane.
Catherine Kane.
Okay.
KK.
Hey, KK.
I know. And generally when you hear KK, you think Kim, Courtney, Chloe.
I was
Chloe has a
thinking
C,
that you're
doesn't it?
2/3 of the way finishing a statement.
I was too.
That's just my brain.
3 strikeouts.
Yeah, I know. 3 strikeouts is the worst, man. And the thing is, I'll sit at a baseball game, and here's my black ass, and I understand it's 3 strikeouts, but the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, all I see is KKK. And right, it's troubling, man.
Right. If you strike out, it's a K.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Just don't
get a 4th one, goddammit.
Just don't get that backwards K. You're not having dinner tonight. All right.
Can't come back to the dugout.
All right. Louis Black, very funny comedian. I don't think he's far off on this theory, but he was talking to Stephen Colbert, and again, I like this theory.
Everybody's miserable, but everybody turns on the TV when they wake up. Don't! Hey? Because what happens is immediately you go, oh my God, we're all gonna die! So what you do instead is you go to the stove, and you turn on a burner.
Yeah.
You put your head down, and you light your hair on fire. And then you spend the day putting that fire out. And then people call and say, what'd you do today? And you said, my hair was on fire, and I put it out. And at least you accomplished something that
day. Right? Yeah, I mean, whether you turn on the TV, it's hard to get away from stuff in the morning. I will say this. I recently have not been turning on the TV, and it's just a little bit easier to kind of get motivated and get the hell out of the house.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys. When I turn the TV on, I like to watch it.
You know what, man?
That's
I've never
the
been
entire point for me.
I've never been a morning TV person.
If it's sports, I can have it on in the background and get stuff done.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But other than that, it's if I turn the tube on, I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
That's sometimes when I get home in the evenings, I got to be careful. Hey, man, make dinner now.
Right. The distractions are coming.
Yeah, but I'm with him. You don't need to start reading that stuff first thing in the AM. Never a ton of fun. All right, some ratings. This time of year, America's Got Talent dominates.
Sure.
NCIS only came in number 10 this week.
Oh, no. Was it a repeat, I'm guessing?
Sure was.
Okay.
But do you know it was number 2, and it was a repeat as well? The number 2 watch show last week.
Let me guess, CSI or NCIS, whichever other place.
No, the show you hated as a child and watch as an adult.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Well, that's not surprising. I think people are more interested in what's going on in the world these days.
Yeah, it really does depend, what's going on at the time for 60 minutes. Because, like you said, it's either Ray Romano, which means we're living in good times because there's nothing else to talk about except this guy about how rich he is, or you're talking to the movers and shakers because everything's falling apart.
In our industry in radio, people do better than others at a certain period depending on what's going on. So if your baseball team is really good and you carry the baseball team, then your radio station will do very good. If it's the election year...
Oh, let's not be fooled by that. Nobody carries a baseball...
But if your baseball team sucks, you know what I mean? No one's listening, and you're in your
station
station
that's not
sucks.
why you carry baseball. You carry baseball because whether you listen or not, it is cash money.
Oh, sure.
They don't give up.
No, they don't.
They could care less if you listen to their goddamn baseball game. That is look, any professional sport on any radio station, they do not care if you listen. Because during that season, you make money hand over, because advertisers just pour money. They don't get a return on investment, but you dump money into this, whether anyone's listening or not.
It's your Sears and Roebuck 7th-inning stretch.
Right.
Brought to you by Sears and Roebuck, who just closed their last location in Chicago.
Even baseball itself, they really don't care if you show up to the games.
No, think about a baseball stadium. And some teams do well, but on average, when you watch highlights of baseball game, they can bounce around 10 different stadiums. Most of the time, it's not even 50% full.
Sure.
So just keep in mind that same logic applies to the stations that carry the baseball teams. It's like they hope you listen, but if you don't, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think they're riding a wave there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
say one more thing about
that's a snapshot on what's going on in society.
Well, I always loved pro franchises. What was that? After the strike or whatever, years ago with baseball, there was all these stats that came out that were baseball teams don't make money. It's BS.
Are you kidding me?
Who would pay, what do they pay? What does it cost now to probably a team? Probably $1 billion or something?
Oh, the TV contract.
The amount of money.
Right. And nobody would own these things if it didn't.
Look, it's not about you sitting in the stands, man. This is advertising dollars and everything else. There's a reason why you can get a guaranteed contract, $100 million contract, and there's nobody there.
There's a guy named Peter Angelos, and he's owned the Orioles forever, ever since I've known anything about the Orioles. He probably's owned them the whole time. Who knows? Ex-players, Cal Ripken, investment groups, people have begged him to sell that team because they know he's putting a mediocre product on the field, and with the knowledge that he makes money and doesn't have to pay anybody. So he doesn't want to pay anybody because that's not really his bread and butter. So all these other people, like, can you just put a team out there that'll win? He doesn't give a flying F. It doesn't matter. It just sells, Boog's Barbecue and,
Well, it's cash money.
Enjoys life.
Bruce Willis, they recently taped a roast for him. It hasn't aired yet. It'll air soon. But just kind of a funny, I like this quote from him. Basically, he got up to the podium and said, quote, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie.
Thank you.
Die Hard also came out in the summertime.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah, I did not know that. I just saw recently somebody post out, that, on this day, whatever, Die Hard came out. And I was like, huh. I think we've gotten so wrapped up in some of the internet stuff, and it's funny to have that argument whether it's a Christmas
because it's
movie.
not important. But it takes place at Christmas time. But I forgot about that. The movie came out during the summer. Like, no one was in Christmas spirit at all.
Yeah.
But here's the movie. It takes place. But I'm like, is this really a Christmas movie?
They do seasonal things that way. It's kind of crazy. It makes sense. You would not put out a Christmas album right now.
If you want to get a head start.
Well, I get filming it in the summer.
Sure.
I'm just saying it's
but
kind
having it ready for the
But to sit there and argue that it's a Christmas movie, it's like it didn't even come out around Christmas.
Right.
And again, it's the point of his trip being there is because it's Christmas Eve, but the Christmas aspect really has little to do with that movie.
It just explained why he was seeing his ex-wife.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, that was the entirety of why it was Christmas Eve.
Because why else would you want to spend that
see
day
your ex-wife
on
right.
Christmas Eve?
That's exactly.
Holy Christ!
Speaking of ex-wives, Demi Moore showed up. Obviously, I guess they're okay if she showed up to roast them.
I think after this time.
They have children together and everything else. Eventually, you just got to squash all that.
Yeah. I did like she got on him about some of his failures, turning down Clooney's role in Ocean's 11 to focus on the harmonica.
That was when he was into his blues band.
Yeah. It sounds like, basically, it sounds like Dennis Rodman was the only roaster who really sucked. And you got to keep in mind, a lot of these roasts, when you see some of these celebrities, like somebody else is writing the jokes, too.
Sure.
Yes.
Dennis Rodman strikes me as a guy that's like, I got to write the jokes.
I could do my best.
Yeah, have another drink there, Dennis. But he did so bad, they're putting him up there with Ann Coulter and The Situation from Jersey Shore. That's like maybe the worst ever.
Okay.
It's all right, though, man. He's taking Kanye to North Korea, and they're going to make an album.
I've read that today. I'm like, you know what? Why not?
He's lost it.
Just why not?
Which one?
Who are you speaking of? He said Dennis Rodman invited Kanye West. So who are you talking about when you say he's lost it?
Yeah,
He's lost it.
Right. That's a big field there.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Or is that just a blanket statement?
Either way, I'll be right.
Right, you can't go wrong. Yeah. Which one do you think's crazy?
As long as I just stop there.
Right.
Mike and I were talking about this earlier. Sometimes people get ghosted. Jimmy Fallon had on David Spade, and Spade talked a little bit about dating nowadays.
It's pretty funny. It's about then versus now, when you break up with girls and how tough it was. You didn't get ghosted in the old days.
Ghosting didn't exist.
No, it was, it fizzled out. Like, what happened with you and Sarah? We fizzled out. Oh, yeah? Yeah, she's boning another guy. That's basically what happened. Like, she didn't tell me, but that's what's happening. And then when you break up with a girl, there's never a good time. It's always bad for them. You're like, can you believe it was 8 weeks before Christmas? Christmas! 9 months before my birthday. This jerk breaks up with me.
This jerk.
Yeah. Daylight savings time. He did it on purpose so I could cry an extra hour. He's a monster. 51 years to the day before Haley's Comet. We're going to watch it together.
He makes a great point.
He does.
If you've ever broken up with somebody,
oh my God,
like you've
it's
been in
never
that
the right time.
Yeah, right. And
is there a good time?
Thank you. There's never a good time, right? Like, hey, I really loved you, but I want you the hell out of my life.
But a guy never said, it was 2 days before payday or whatever. There's never a date. It's like it just happened.
I'd be pissed. Like a Monday morning?
Like, come on.
Yeah, trying to go to work. All right, Mike's got your headlines coming up here in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Pennsylvania, where a naked man on the side of the road tells cops that he is partying hard. Not physically down. Man's excuse for getting caught having sex with a horse catches everyone off guard. New Hampshire Meemaw walks in the kitchen and look out, it's a bear. A man steals drugs and does them, but accidentally streams it live on the air. And a gnome thief falls through a fence with gnome in tow. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story, we go to Wales, where a man has been arrested for having sex, but is with a Sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. For having sex with a horse, but has claimed that the horse gave him consent to have sex with it. He was caught after the trainer put up security cameras in the stables, and the man was taken to court where he has pleaded not guilty, stating that before having sex, the horse smelled his crotch and winked at him, which he saw as permission to have sex with the animal. The man was fined and jailed for 10 months.
Yeah, that horse was sending mixed messages.
Were you looking at both eyes when you saw the horse wink at you, or were you only looking at one side?
We have since learned that she was not winking with her eyes.
Okay.
Veterinary medicine is weird
No.
and very available on the Googles.
Not winking with her eyes. Oh, no. Damn. I've got an image that won't go away now.
Oh, it won't go away. And we've all got the same. It's like a group hallucination.
Right.
Everybody has the same unfortunate image.
We're all watching the same show, but there's no TV. In other news, it's another episode of Man versus Beast.
That was well played, right?
Damn, well done. It's another episode of Man vs. Beast. For this adventure, we go to New Hampshire, where a wheelchair-bound woman made her way into her kitchen and was met with an unlikely guest. A bear.
Only you are going to be eaten.
Only you can leave your screen door open.
It was a bear in her kitchen.
You're New Hampshire. You have control over whether your door's open or it's locked or not. Like, I'm sorry, we never lock our back door. Well, you might need to because maybe someone doesn't break in because you live in the middle of nowhere. But a bear can get in there, and if he's hungry enough.
We don't have a lot of crime. Well, where I'm from, we don't have a lot of eating.
We have black on brown bear crime.
The bear then attacked the 71-year-old woman and injured her bad enough to put her in the hospital. Authorities have yet to talk to the woman and are currently looking for the animal. Wow, shoot. I swear I'd never do that. Afraid that it could be rabid. Alrighty, the latest finalist for my dumbass.
How about you be scared that it might be a bear?
Right. Oh, damn, it's a bear.
That's good enough.
I don't care.
Latest finalists for my dumbasses of the week take us to Helensvale, Australia, where 4 men broke into a shed on a property under construction and stole solar panels, cameras, and other items from inside the shed before taking off. After they had left the residence, the 4 men took a break and decided to do some drugs. How do authorities know they did this? They triggered an alarm when they broke in to steal the items and started up the cameras that they had stolen, which were linked to the owner's phone.
Snowflake liberals shouldn't have done the solar, should have stolen the beautiful clean coal.
Given the man a perfect insider view of the criminals, authorities are currently tracking the men down.
What kind of drugs were they doing?
I have no idea. Say what kind of drugs they were doing?
I know, it's always
focused on the drugs, man.
Well, I'm just saying,
they were doing liberal snowflake solar panel hippie drugs.
Seems like an odd one. Like you had to get some more in right
That's
now.
what I mean. Like, what drug do you have that you need while you haven't left the scene of the crime yet?
Picture there. It looks like he's scooping
If
something.
you're a real man, you would be fracking and doing oxys.
Yeah, the promise of anonymous sex turned into a nightmare situation for a handful of men answering an ad on Craigslist. They went to a home in South Miami expecting to have casual sex with a bored housewife. Instead, they were blindfolded, believing it was merely the beginning of the fun, and were met instead with a cross-dressing man that was filming videos to put up on a porn site to charge users to view them.
You about to get some now, boy.
No. Not only that, he's been doing this for years.
4 years now,
There's 600-some people on there. And you know what? Yeah.
That is inaccurate.
Yeah,
I've only been doing it for 3 years.
Exactly. Like, there's some people in Miami going, uh-oh.
He was arrested on a handful of charges.
Oh, no, there I am.
Ugh, don't answer the Craigslist ads, people.
What do you mean you want me to put this blindfold on? Okay.
Sit in the chair.
That feels a lot like a penis.
Another reason why none
Is
of
that
us...
how he got away with this for so long?
Oh,
People
totally.
were just embarrassed?
He put him in blinders.
So they
couldn't
know.
see. They don't know what's going on. He films them 4 years worth of material over 600 individual videos of different people.
That's it for headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy. The head chef is back. Ted's meat and potatoes. No as Sherlock, and we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But until next time, please do what you do best. And for Letha's sake, stay beautiful.